Good evening and salutations, my B&B fans. I want to talk about Brooke and Taylor for a minute because I'm gonna be completely honest. I understand that Taylor is, being very protective of Steffi and wants her to feel better, and is really focused on her recovery. But I also feel like she's being very dismissive towards hope in her marriage. She keeps talking on and on about, oh, I'm so glad that Liam is going to be there for Steffi because it's going to be a really difficult time. And, it's just really a good support that, he's there for her. And, Brooke is like, you do realize that Steffi has other family. Like, the burden should solely focus on Liam. And there's one point where it's like she completely ignores her and just goes on and on about how Liam is going to be there for Steffi and this, that, and the third. And, she looks at Brooke and is like, oh, well, it's not like I'm sitting there trying to play matchmaker or anything like that. I understand that they're married. I'm like, well, do you? Because you're, you know what I'm saying? Like the way you're talking, your body language, like, it's not coming across like you really care. And there's one point where I think she's talking to um, Hope, and she just has this very dismissive attitude about Liam really being, spending time with, um, Stuffy. Now Riz comes in there, and I felt like he just felt the energy between Taylor and Brooke, and he kind of just more mellowed it down and was just like, well, at the end of the day, we're here for Steffi, and we just wanted to recover, and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, yeah, but bro, you need to sit there and check your wife because, like, the fact that she's being so dismissive about it is just irking a lot of people. Now, there's one point where um, Liam is sitting there talking to Hope, and I'm like, Hope, why don't you sit there and say something? Like, she's very quiet and very mousy. I don't know if that's just how her character normally is, but I'm like, bro, if you feel like there's something going on in your marriage and you don't like it or whatever, you don't like the vibe, the energy, whatever it is, you need to say something because at this point, I feel like I feel like Taylor is just gonna walk all over, um, Hope's feelings. And I mean, I give props to Brooke because at least Brooke is not there trying to step in and be like, yo, you gotta like if you don't feel comfortable about this at any point in time, you need to sit there and say something. Instead, she's just like lurking outside and just like, you know, eavesdropping on Liam and Steffi's conversation. And, Liam is just basically is like, I'm going to be here for you. And, even Steffi is like, well, I understand you're married and stuff like that. And, Liam is just being really supportive. And you can just sit there and see the hurt and Hope's expression, in her eyes. You can sit there and see it. I'm like, bro, if you don't say anything, I feel like the longer this goes on, the more Hope is going to be irritated. But instead of actually sitting down and talking with Liam, she's going to be very resentful, probably going to sit there and be very short with him. And you can just tell there's going to be problems moving forward. But of course, from what I heard from other people, they're probably going to sit there and do this whole love triangle thing again because, why not? Now, Dollar Bill was there today. I mean, he didn't really offer too much of anything except for he was talking to Liam and just kind of comforting him and talking about how he has his PIs on the, looking for the shooter and stuff like that. And other than that, he didn't really serve that much of a purpose. I mean, it was nice seeing him, but it was like, you should probably be, I was like, Liam, you should probably be talking more to your wife. You should probably be reassuring her that, y'all good and, you're just supporting Steffi and you're not, nothing more. Given their history, I feel like he should probably be a little more adamant about that and more attentive to Hope when he's not, you know, by Steffi's bedside, which I gotta sit there and say, damn, that's a really crappy position to be in. Because you gotta sit there and support Steffi, and then you gotta sit there and reassure Hope, and then you have to sit there and be a father and work. That's a lot. That's a lot, and I feel like down the line that's gonna probably play a part in whatever argument that they're gonna get into. Because, well, let's be honest, it's gonna happen. Oh, and good news, Hope is gonna be leaving. Steffi's gonna be sitting there leaving. After sitting there getting a visit from Hayes, Bridget comes in there and she's like, "Yeah, you're doing a lot better, and you can, go home or whatever." So that's cool. That's cool because I would love to sit there and see any other set other than that damn hospital that we've seen for like 2 weeks. Um, and it's weird, complaining about the hospital setting, even though you sit there and see some of the other settings over and over again. It's just being there, having her in that bed. It's just like, ugh, like really. So I'm really happy about that. Now, Sheila is, at this point, I don't know what the hell she's doing. Monologuing, she's sad, she wants to kill Steffi. There's just a lot that's swirling in her head. But Deacon comes over, and Deacon comes over to check on her, to make sure she's okay, to sit there and tell her, not to bottle up this anger, to yell, scream, whatever, like I'm there for you. And I really do like their friendship. I really do like Deacon just being there supporting her and stuff like that. Because, in the beginning, when Sheila asked for help, Deacon just kind of saw that as just annoying. Like, what do you want? Like, why are you bothering me for? But, losing her son and everything like that, he's like, he wants to really sit there and be there for her. On top of that, she almost jumped off a building. So he's just kind of like, yo, let it out. I'm here for you, whatever you need. At some point, Ridge does go in there to talk to Steffi to sit there and see if she can remember something. And of course, she can't. Um, I'm going to be honest, I don't know exactly how long they're going to sit there and keep that whole storyline going because, let's be honest, the minute that Steffi finds out the truth, Sheila's done. Okay? Unless Sheila plans on killing Steffi, Sheila's done. So, I guess we're going to sit there and go into next week. We're going to probably go into next week with Sheila trying to sneak in, trying to find a way to sit there and kill Steffi. Because at this point, what else is she really going to sit there and do? Just twiddle her thumbs? I mean, she could probably do the smart play and, like, leave LA, but she's not going to do that. I mean, that's just not how a sociopath mind works. So, yeah. I'm going to be honest, that's pretty much about it. These episodes for the last past 2 or 3 weeks so far has been, I don't know, they haven't really been great. They haven't been terrible either, but they haven't really been great. They just haven't really been doing anything. It's like, Steffi wakes up and, Liam is there for her and Hope gets upset and Taylor acts dismissive and Brooke is not there fighting and, for Hope's marriage, and also Brooke is not there begging Ridge, and Ridge is coming up with more BS excuses and not being like, hey, we should get a divorce, or hey, I should end my marriage with her, but no, I gotta sit there and come up with another excuse. What's the excuse today? Oh, I gotta be there for my daughter. I'm actually missing, as much as I complain about it, and I still probably complain about it, I am missing these scenes of Carter and Zende and Paris and Grace. I think that's her name. I think that's her name. I forgot her damn name at this point. I think her name is Grace. And Quinn and Eric and Katie. Like, I just miss some of the other characters. It's like they just, uh, I'm pretty sure it's gonna get back to normal at some point, and I'm just looking forward to it because I gotta be completely honest. I've been like thinking about it like all day. Like, man, I don't know if I need a break from this show. Like, just a good break. Like, I feel like this show hasn't really been doing it for me. If I'm gonna be completely honest, I feel like this show hasn't been doing it for me. I mean, it's, hasn't been terrible, and maybe it's just these last past couple of like weeks where it's just been like, I feel like we're on like rinse and repeat. Or maybe it's just been Y&R. I know Y&R has definitely not been doing it for me, like at all. Um, so I'm just deciding on what I should do just moving forward. Like there was one point even before I started reviewing, I was like, should I just like stop doing B&B for a little bit? Like, what is it that's just like really bothering me? Like, is it just the show? Is it just the time? Because it's like right now, I'm about to get ready to do Y&R. Um, but even like last year before I started doing Y&R, it's like I was fine just doing the three of them because it was only 18 minutes. So it's like it wasn't like the end of the world. But maybe it's just today. Maybe it's just today. Also, I've been up since 4 o'clock this morning. So, my emotions is kind of, up in the air. Um, I feel like that's about it. Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to go. I want to thank you for watching. Be safe. Hope everyone has a great, safe weekend. And I will see you in the next video.